Most real estate agents start off the year full of hope and excitement and dreams and plans. But the reality of the situation is a lot of what we're planning for is just fluff, and we really don't know exactly where we're heading. And so, what I want to do today is show you exactly how I'm going to reverse engineer my 2026. And to do that, I'm going to use the software that I created called AscendR. Now, I essentially accidentally created this. I was just looking for a tracker to help me gauge my prospecting efforts so that I could better know my numbers. Within a month or so, I had created AscendR. We've got some pilots using it right now that are loving the software. And so I just wanted to create a video today. It's going to be really rough, but it's going to be an overview of exactly how I plan to use this alongside the other tech stack that I have this year to hopefully crush 2026. So if you're an agent thinking about their business plan for 2026, hopefully this video is valuable to you. And just so you know, we are running a 14-day free trial of AscendR. If you feel like it could benefit your business, the link is right in the description. Let me get right into the software so that you know exactly what this could do for you. And so the first thing that you're going to do is to plan your year. And you're going to jump right into the business planner. This is the very first thing that loads up when you install the AscendR OS, both to your desktop and to your mobile phone. It's not on the App Store, but it is a progressive web app, so it can live on your home screen, which is really convenient. And so the very first thing you're going to ask yourself is, what do I want to take home? Not what do I want to make GCI total, what do I want to take home at the end of the year? And then I'm going to show you how we engineer that. And so the second question is, how many days a week am I going to prospect? Now, let me clarify some things about who AscendR is for and who it isn't for. It is really designed for the agent that actively participates in outbound prospecting. If you are a referral agent, if you are an agent that really doesn't like getting on the phones and making phone calls, honestly, you're not going to benefit from us in the same way as an agent who specifically specializes in outbound prospecting. If you are a prospector, you're going to love this software. The next question you're going to ask is, how many days per week am I going to prospect? For me, I prospect 3 days a week. This could be 5 for you. It could be more. And then you're going to hit next. Now, you can do a quick launch, which is just going to use industry standards, or the custom plan, which I definitely recommend using the custom plan because your numbers are really not going to be super accurate if you just do the quick launch. Now, this is something you can always come back in and edit later in the settings, but to start off, you can put in your estimated annual tax rate, which I have set at 0, should probably be around 25% in general. The taxes that I end up paying at the end of the year. Now, this is obviously, I'm not a tax advisor, so put in whatever you feel comfortable with, or just leave it at 0. I really just want to know if I want to hit 400 after my cap, what do I have to do? But if you want to factor in taxes, then put in that percentage there. The next piece is the commission model. So are you on a split? And then you'd put in the percentage of the GCI you take home, or do you have an annual cap? At Real Brokerage, where I am, we have a $12,000 annual cap with an 85% split until then. So I put that in there and then hit next. Then you're going to go through the average purchase price in your area. What you want to do is you want to look at your annual average purchase price. Don't just look at general area. You want to know of the houses that I'm selling. Let's say I sold 20 houses last year. What was the average purchase price? That's the number you want to put in there. This is not a goal number. It's not what you want to sell. It's what you're actually selling. Then you're going to put in your average commission rate. So it's 2.5, 3, whatever you normally get on your sales. And then the number of contacts per hour. Now, I have 7. That seems to be where I'm at, 7 contacts per hour. But obviously, if you're using main dialer or it's more, you can put in whatever your contacts per hour is on average. If you don't know that, just leave it at 7. The next piece is your sales skills. And so because I have been tracking for some time, I already know my conversion rates. If you don't, just leave them as the industry standards. But you can go in and change your sales skills. So your contact to lead. So that's out of how many contacts, how many leads are you getting? Your lead to appointment set to appointment met, appointment set to signed, and then signed to closed. And so right now I have a 12% contact to lead, 25% lead to appointment, 75% appointment set to met, and 80% met to signed, and then finally a 75% signed to closed. Now, once you've done all of that, you're simply going to hit calculate plan. Now, it's going to give you your blueprint. This says your 2025 blueprint. Ignore that. It should say your 2026 blueprint. Your daily target, 12 contacts per prospecting day. So then that means essentially on the 3 days a week that I prospect, I need to make 12 contacts. I need to set at least one appointment per week, sign 3 listings a month, and sell 22 homes this year if I want to hit that $400,000 GCI. And so now that my blueprint's been mapped out, I'm going to simply hit accept and start climbing. Now, right now, this brings me to the settings page because I've already done this, but if you're brand new to the software, it's going to open up and show you a welcome list. The very first thing you can do is join the private school group. And so there's going to be a link right in there that joins the private school group, and that's going to bring a 14-day onboarding to AscendR and also gives you the community of like-minded agents to connect with in the school group. And so you'll be able to join that right away. Also, you'll be able to go in and install the app on your computer and your home screen. And so AscendR can live right on your desktop and your phone, like I mentioned before, which is super handy. Now, the big thing, I've gone in and logged some activity, as you can see, but if you're just looking at a blank screen, what you will see here is the current annual pace, and it's going to take about 15 days for that to calculate, and then it's not going to be super accurate until about 6 months of logging. But what this does, it's a number that's going to look at essentially your daily activity, and then it's going to combine that with your conversion rates and your goals to give you an idea of exactly where you're on track to hit this year. And so what's really cool about that is that every time you make a call, every time you log an activity in AscendR, it's going to update your annual pace. Now, over time, this is going to get more and more accurate. It's definitely not a guarantee of income because, as we know in real estate, anything can happen, and it does. But it's really great to see. The other thing you're going to see up here is the weekly calendar. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the big thing about this is the streak calculation with camps. What I learned this year, because we did a weight loss app this year, and I lost a bunch of weight. Super grateful for that. But it had this calendar where you would count calories and it would give you a little green check mark every day you did it. And I found it super helpful. So I really wanted to incorporate this into AscendR to help essentially build in the habit of prospecting into your weeks. You've got a streak, and then the other thing you see here is camps. Camps are essentially manual rest days because let's face it, we're not going to work every day, and I would hate for a streak to be ruined simply because you were showing houses on Saturday and Sunday. And so this is going to be based on the number of days that you decided to prospect. So because I said 3, I then have 4 camps. So you can do this a number of ways, but essentially I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say I don't prospect on Tuesday, so I'm going to use that. Thursday is January 1st, so I'm definitely going to be prospecting. Put a comment down below if you're going to be prospecting on January 1st, but I'm probably not going to be prospecting Saturday or Sunday. And then I'll figure out if I do end up doing all 3 of those days or not. But right now, see, I have 1 of 4 camps left. And so by using a camp, essentially, you're going to protect your streak to continue building that habit of everyday prospecting, which is something that's really important for myself and for the agents that are using it. The next thing you're going to see is this XP bar. So this is going to level up as you log your activity. You earn XP points. Behind why I created it this way is because so many times we get caught up in the big closing checks. It's all we focus on that we forget that it's actually the contacts that we make. It's the conversion rates that we have that get us to the closing table. For every contact you make, you get 5 XP points. Every lead is 15. Every appointment set is 25. Appointment met is 50. Signed is 75. Closed is 150. And so as you can see, you're going to essentially get those XP points, you level up, it gamifies the whole process, and then you've got this leaderboard down here, and this is a monthly leaderboard, so it resets every month, so you can compete with other agents, maybe agents that you know. If you've got a team, your team will be here. If it's global, then you can just look, okay, do I want to be on the global leaderboard and check for everybody, where do I stand, or the team, where do I stand? Now, this updates every month, so that if you join halfway through the month, don't worry about it. Next month is going to reset. You're going to have a chance to come on the leaderboard. And this is going to be something that is going to be a lot of fun in the school community. I can imagine running some contests and things like that. And again, this video is very rough. I just want to show you inside how I'm going to reverse engineer my GCI for next year. And so as you can see, I did prospect today. I had 11 contacts, 1 lead, and this is this week's goals. And so as this week's goals fill up, you can see the bars. Now this is just the main dashboard, right? So the next piece of the puzzle is going to be logging deals. So every time you prospect in the morning after you've done your morning block, you're just going to hit this plus button here. You could do this right on your phone. You could do it on your computer. You're going to log your prospecting hours, your contacts, and your leads. And I'll show you this. So let's say we did 2 hours, 12 contacts, 2 leads. We log that. Boom. That's how it's done. We earn some XP. We go back to home. Now watch. We see our annual pace is updated. We see our week's goals have updated as well. And we've earned some XP for the leaderboard. And so in this way, it really gamifies the whole process of prospecting. Now, perfect. Come over here to the metrics tab. You've got month-to-date numbers where you see your volume, GCI, and close. And again, this is a rough dashboard. I haven't logged all of the things in here. I just wanted to show you around. But you're going to see your volume, your GCI, your closed that you've had this month. You're going to have your hours prospecting, contacts, leads, appointments set, appointments met and signed, and finally an activity log. You're going to have year-to-date numbers. One of my favorite pieces about the year-to-date is that you can look at your conversion health. And you can see, based on the goals that I set, am I hitting them or not? Is my contact to lead ratio high or low? And what I recommend doing is updating these every 3 months or so that way your GCI pace stays on track. You're going to see your total volume, your GCI, your number of closed transactions. You're going to see where is your business coming from, expired, circle, open house, referral. As you continue to log, you're going to see year-over-year growth. So you can do month-to-date, last month, last 6 months, and then a custom date range. So as you continue to log, the system gets smarter, the pace updates, and you're able to really dial in, which is one of the reasons why I love outbound prospecting, is because it allows you to control your business. You're able to, by your own actions, control how much money you're going to make. And once you get a deal in, you're simply going to log it into the pipeline. And so we've got a couple ways to do this. The first is really simple. You just go up here, you hit new, you put in the client's name. Let's just say Bob Hope, 12. Say he's a seller from Circle. Say he's $400,000 listing. If you don't know this, you can leave it blank. You're going to add new deal. Now they're automatically going to add into the lead section. So all you'll have to do once you've put them in the lead section, you just click on them. Let's say you set an appointment. You put the date that you set it, and you hit save. Once you do this, the lead moves over to the set category. You move them all the way from set, met, signed, and close. And as you do this, this updates, of course, in your metrics tab so that you know exactly where you stand in terms of your pipeline. Now, the other way to do this, because I'm a Follow Up Boss user, I decided to sync this with Follow Up Boss using an API integration. And do is go into Follow Up Boss and then tag a lead as a seller or a buyer, and I'll hit this button up here. Now, I don't think this is going to add anybody because I just did it this morning, but it connected and found and synced 0 matching leads. So if I had added a new lead, it would have synced them in there, and you'd see them in your pipeline as lead, and then it's simply a matter of moving them through the pipeline. Now, you don't need Follow Up Boss to be able to use this, but the direct integration is really handy. And so finally, in the settings page, you do have a dark mode. You've got a light mode if you prefer. I'm definitely a fan of dark mode. Here are all your financial goals. If you ever need to update them, you can do so right in the settings. You can see all of the goals that we did in the business plan are right here if you ever need to go up and update those, which again, I recommend doing and updating your conversion goals every 3 to 6 months. So that way the GCI pace can actually update and know where you're at in real time. And so with all of this system in place, really then it's simply a matter of me doing the work. And that's what I love about AscendR, is that it gives me the peace of mind to know that I'm on track simply by me doing the work. And a lot of times I think there's this disconnect between the work being done and us getting paid. And that's where we start freaking out as agents is, oh my gosh, am I going to have a good year or not? Well, it depends. Are you doing the work that you committed to at the beginning of the year? If that answer is yes, then you're going to continue to see the results. And that's really why I created this software in the first place, to help myself and my team gamify the inputs that lead to commission checks. And so hope you got a lot out of that video. Again, if you are interested in checking out AscendR, you can click the link right in the description below. There's a 14-day free trial of the software and also the 14-day Ascend protocol to help you onboard with the software and get connected with a community of like-minded prospectors. Hope you got something out of that video, and good luck in 2026.